Hey there guys, we're at Victoria Park. It is June 9th and today we're going to hike Stairway to Heaven. Let's get started, shall we? Yeah, it's a beautiful day. It's going for 20 degrees right now, so it's pretty warm. There's some good cloud coverage, so it's not just pure sunlight, although it's frequently quite sunny today. Yeah, yesterday we just had some rain, so the brooks, the streams are all running really nice. The pools are all big. I always check along here just for snakes. Snakes are always along the waterway. Well, not always, but they prefer waterways. Lots of snacks along them. Frogs and things like that. The mostly the maritime garter you'll see. Maritime garter snake. Our largest snake here in in Nova Scotia. He'll hunt for frogs and even little birds if you can get them. Oh, this is a muddy spot. It's very muddy. Like I said, it was just raining, so the trail conditions are a little poor. And this trail here is always, the conditions are always pretty poor. It's always flooded, so. But I love this trail. I love taking this trail. Leads you to a beautiful pond at the end of it, so. It's always worth the trek through the bit of muddy spots you have to go through. So I hiked two waterfalls yesterday morning. One in the morning, one in the afternoon, I should say. The first waterfall was beautiful. It's right here in town. It's called Christie Brook Falls, or sometimes it's known as Greenfield Falls. And the second one, and it was not the funnest hike. The hike was fine. It was up an old dirt logging road, and that was fine, old gravel road. But we got to the end where you had to bushwhack into, I think it's called Brook Falls. Weird name, I know. But it's where like all these different brooks meet, and then they come into they form a waterfall and flow into the main source of water down there, the river that runs through those mountains in Nutby. And yeah, couldn't bushwhack to the falls. I was right above the falls. I could hear them, but the growth in there was so dense. My hiking partner really was not really enthused by that, so, and neither was I. So I was like, screw it. I might have walked 2 hours to this waterfall, or an hour, just over an hour, and then an hour hike back, so yeah, 2 hours in total. But yeah, I didn't find it, and honestly, it probably would have been pretty dangerous even to get to it, because the descent was steep and it was filled with a young spruce forest like this, like really dense forest like that, and that's hard to walk through. But yeah, that was yesterday's adventure. Today I'm just taking it easy here in my backyard, Victoria Park. All the beautiful nature you could ever want. It's wild as it can be out here. Never lacking for nature in Nova Scotia. Never. There's not a big enough city here to make you even feel like you're, you know, trapped in some prisonous hellhole type of city setting. Well, all you do is consume and shop. Nah, Nova Scotia's always all these beautiful escapes. I love that. place is literally my backyard. I couldn't be any happier with that. So yeah, keeping it local today. Not that I went far out of my way yesterday. I was still here in town, pretty much Salmon River area for the Christie Brook Falls. And then just up in the mountains of Nutby, just outside of town, for Falling Brook Falls, or Fallbrook Falls, whatever it's called. I love looking at these brooks just to see, you know, maybe sometime I'll spot a crayfish. They're not officially recognized as being on mainland Nova Scotia, but where I'm from on Nova Scotia, it's the Cape Breton Island. They're there, so why wouldn't they be here on mainland too? It's just that they haven't discovered them yet. I've seen them all the time growing up on Cape Breton Island. In the highlands and things. I believe I seen them when I was a kid. Little lobsters that live in your brooks. Beautiful creatures. Probably taste good too if you're into that type of seafood type of stuff. I'm not. I don't like anything that comes from the water really. I like watermelon. Oh, frog just took off, hit underneath a leaf. Smart thing to do. Could be a snake stomping through something. Who knows what they think is coming their way. Snake or a bird coming to gobble you up. Poor little frogs. Frogs are very beneficial to me because they eat up insects. And you know, it's not that they're getting all the insects, not even near many, but any insect, any black fly, mosquito, they can gobble up. That's okay to me. Job well done. Even one dead mosquito makes a difference. Nah. People hate mosquitoes and black flies, rightfully so. But you gotta think of a larger picture, zoom out, you know? Creatures that you love to see in the forest when you're hiking, they depend upon these insects that we would deem as pests. They would deem as essential food sources. So you just gotta zoom out a little bit sometimes and appreciate the bigger picture. Even though I like to complain about mosquitoes, it's all in good fun to me because I do appreciate them and what they bring to the ecosystem. Sorry guys, I'm smoking a joint, so I'm coughing up my lung a bit here. I know that's never a pleasant sound. Check for snakes in here. Nothing. Did see a snake yesterday on my hike. He was right underneath my feet on the Falling Brook Falls, or what, Fallbrook Falls. He was right underneath my feet. I thought I was kicking a stick, and then I was like, what the hell, man? Why does this stick keep sticking underneath my shoe? Like, why is it trying to get underneath my shoe? Like, every time I step, it's like the friggin' Sideshow Bob and The Simpsons stepping on rakes. It was like me with that, what I thought was a stick. I'm glad I didn't step on it because I looked down and I seen, oh fuck, it's a beautiful little garter snake. Trying to get out of my way. He spooked me though. I was like, what the hell? Damn moving sticks. Ooh, I just popped off my lens cap there. Just popped off my lens caps. Put this back on. Keep my lens cap on the trails when I'm filming, because no chance of me getting a good birding shot or whatever. If a bear steps onto the path, you know, camera's fine for that, but for when I'm recording, it's hard to get the small birds because my cap is in the way, which the GoPro is on, mounted onto my cap. Oh, look at this place. Beautiful. Not so much over there. I think just right across here, like a beetle infestation got to it at one point or something. But over here, you turn your back and boom, beautiful, lush, dense, mixed forest. That loud squeal there was a killdeer. Been seeing those around the park. Beautiful, like a water bird. Yeah, there he is there. You hear him? See that loud squeal there? That's who I'm talking about. The killdeer. A type of shorebird. Like a sandpiper, pretty much. Beautiful though. They have nice red eyes and this cool like banded coat, like beigeish white and like a creamy coat, and then with like bands of, it's either brown or black, I think. I had to look back at my photos. I think they nest here somewhere in the park. Might be either in the forest, which I'm not sure they do, or it could be on the roof of the water treatment plant that's located in the park here too, by the reservoir. I like to look through these big old stands of trees here, especially the fallen trees, the ones you see laying a little sideways. Because you never know, you could see an owl, anything up there. Grouse. Over the last week, I've had 2 to 3, definitely 2 different sightings, but it might have been a third sighting too, of different great horned owls. I think their mating season is right now or something, but yeah, I think I know where their nest is at, so I could see those 2 for sure, might be 3 individuals whenever I want, really. They're always around, no matter if it's the morning or the afternoon, the evening. They're always around that area, this old fallen tree here in the park. In the main portion of the park too. You think they'd be up here in this tree, like these type of trees here. But surprisingly, they're not out here in the really wild sections of Victoria Park. They're in the very trafficked areas, and they're getting picked on by crows. That's the funny thing. You think an owl would just rip a crow's head off, right? No, they're always getting mobbed by crows. They make this funny squeal that I never heard out of an owl before. It sounds like a kid like fell down and scraped his knee, and he's bawling his head off, like squealing, like the start of the child's crying. He's about to launch into him. But it's that squeal, and they're making this squeal. And I heard it in the forest as I was trying to track these guys. And I was like, what is that? Well, it was poor Mr. Great Horned Owl getting mobbed by crows. I don't think any harm was done to him. I seen him the next day, hanging out on the side by side with his buddy, his mate, his son, his daughter, whatever that is. whatever relationship they have. So he was fine. It was just interesting. To think that an owl would get picked on by a crow? Huh. Crows are pretty big. The American crow gets pretty large, but still, owls are known to be ferocious, man. The talons on those guys, like, they're just like the definition of like a predator. And here he is getting beat up by a crow. Getting beat up by a crow in front of his woman? How dare he? What a wimp. Nah, it's a beautiful sighting though. I have a lot of respect for those birds. Just even allowing me to see them. It's incredible. And I got to show a few other people that came by too. That was great. Showing folks something that they've never seen before. And they all appreciated it. They all appreciate the sighting. It's like little baby butterflies out and about. Maybe not babies, but oh, all the pollen falling from the trees. Luckily I got my lens cap on. Just checking along here because there's always snakes here along this watering hole. They're probably here right now. They're just in the ferns and the tall grasses. But yeah, this is the end of the trail here, guys. Sorry if I talk too much through it. These strolls are just so leisurely to me. Yeah, beautiful. Used to be a beaver in here at one point. Could see the evidence on the big ol' what is this guy? Looks like a trembling asp, or a, trembling aspen here. And yeah, he didn't get through the tree, and the tree's still pretty good and healthy, but that's some serious damage, you know. That's some serious damage right there. So it's not as healthy as it could be. But yeah, I mean, there used to be a beaver here in the pond. He was transforming it. You could see that, and looks like the park took him out because he was just, they didn't want him to rip down the old hemlocks and yellow spruces here and maples, trembling aspens. So they took him out, which I think is great. I came over here. I've been seeing this for years, but it never really clicked in. Like, yeah, that's clearly you know, beaver markings there, but it never really clicked in because I only seen, you know, that one example. But then I was over here following along the edge of the pond here, and I seen more of them. More chopped trees with the telltale signs of, you know, the pointy stump left. Like a perfect formation. Really cool looking. And yeah, so I clued in then. I was like, yeah, okay, it definitely was a beaver here. I don't believe he's here anymore. I don't think he is. I guess at one time this was probably just like a, really, this is probably just a brook. Cause probably just came through here, probably some forest along here. And as you can see, like there's some trees in here in the water. And yeah, they probably just ran through here and then down through the forest, but down to here, up there, and snakes throughout the trail there. But they did some major reconstruction, some redirections of the waterways here in the park when they made the reservoir back to like the mid 1800s. They started working and getting water from here for their town. So It's an old park for North American standards, and it shows its age with just how much man has, you know, recreated it and bent it to his will. Over here, take a look through my thing, but you can see the old Beaver lodge just right in front of us there. Little opening in front still. Take a picture and just show you on the video when I upload it, if I get crafty enough to even, or you know, delazify myself to do it. Yeah, this is where this is the end of the trail here. So see the Stairway to Heaven placard there. And this is where I just like to come and sit and do some macro photography. So I'll see you guys later. Take care.